Hi, my name's Shamash, and we're talking about doing hobbies with friends in a bit of a random way. See you in 30 seconds. Oops. So, in normal circumstances, if you want to join a friend and do a hobby, that would be quite easy. You just call up your friend or turn up at their doorstep and say, "Hey, what hobbies are you into? Let's do a hobby together." That's really easy. But at the moment, certainly in most of Europe and Americas, there's lockdowns. So, how do we do that? How do you join a friend doing a hobby? And what sort of friends could you join? And what kind of hobbies would they be engaging in? Well, let me just talk a little bit about the benefits of this very quickly. I think some of you will know this now. First of all, social contact is so important. When we connect with other people, it makes us feel good. We're wired and we're designed. They say that of all the animals, and I include human being as an animal, of all the different animals or mammals, human beings are the most social. And so when we connect with others, there's something that triggers in our brain that says, this is a good thing, this is a happy thing, you need to be doing more of this. And that's why well-being and happiness is probably so linked for us human beings to social connection. And that's why it's really important. And probably why we've been so successful in terms of spreading around the world, because if we work together and we collaborate quite naturally, we're wired to do that. So that's important. And doing hobbies is fun. You're engaging your mind in something different from your usual stuff. The other added benefit that I would like to throw in today is that when you connect with others and when you collaborate with them and you do something maybe even a bit unusual or random, like doing a hobby that you don't normally do, it will trigger new ideas. It will help you to become more creative. You're much more likely to make better connections in your brain and come up with new ideas when you connect with, I would say, a different friend to the same friend that you connect with every single day, perhaps, and do a hobby that's slightly different to what you would normally do. I've been rereading one of my favorite books at the moment, which, oh wow, that looks so cool, isn't it? It's called The Little Book of Luck. It's got a green background and I'm on green screen at the moment. Does that help? No, that does neither. Wow, you can see behind me. Amazing. So, The Little Book of Luck, or it's called The Luck Factors, the original one by Richard Wiseman. And he talks about the importance of social connections to optimize our luck. And this morning in our daily mindfulness club, we did a luck meditation. We reflected on how we were lucky and just thinking about connecting with different people and doing different hobbies. You're more likely to meet someone who's gonna lead to something, and that will connect to something, and will be into something that you want to do. And one thing leads to another, and you end up becoming more lucky. Um, Today, actually, a really important CEO has died. Actually, a guy called Tony Hsieh. He wrote a book called Delivering Happiness, and he founded a company called Zappos, and they were considered one of the happiest companies in the world. They're a billion-dollar company now, and they just sell shoes in America. But their motto was delivering happiness. And whenever people phoned them up to order shoes, they did their best to try and make that other person happy. They also tried to optimize the happiness of their staff and even their suppliers. And they tried to pick them up from the airport and give them a really nice experience. And I've actually been to the offices of Zappos in Las Vegas, and so creative the way they've designed the inside of it. Now, the reason I mention this is because of he used to also believe in the power of connections and connecting people, Tony Hsieh, and the way he designed the organization and the office was so that people would kind of have more what he called collisions, more opportunities to connect with each other. And so he designed the office so that people were more likely to interact and also more likely to mix. Different departments were more likely to mix. And he called these collisions, and he found that, or his philosophy was, or maybe through his research, he found that when people were more mixing more, they're more likely to raise their well-being or happiness. So yeah, look him up, Tony Hsieh, author of Delivering Happiness. He was only 46 and he died today, something to do with the fire, unfortunately. But his family are saying, he's very much into happiness. So let's make sure we celebrate his life. Anyway, we're talking about hobbies today and how we can connect with our friends, perhaps friends that you don't talk to so often, and do a hobby together. So I have found one of the most boring pages on Wikipedia, which is called a list of hobbies. Probably this is maybe the most interesting picture from there, which looks like someone's into a very interesting hobby, which is something to do with radio. Anyway, it's got a huge list of hobbies here. So if you're not too sure, what hobby shall I do? Let me make it a bit bigger. What hobby shall I do, and who can I connect with their hobbies, and can I do it on Zoom or by video call today? Then just look at the amount of different hobbies that you can engage in. It's huge, and that's just indoors. There's a whole list of outdoors. There's educational hobbies, collection hobbies. Wow, let's see if we can find some weird ones. Just fun. 3D printing as a hobby. I like that. If you haven't heard of 3D printing, it's a way of creating three-dimensional objects using what they call a printer. I don't know. Do I know anyone who has a 3D printer? I don't think I do, actually. If you know anyone who has a 3D printer, let us know, and maybe they can do something on our live. That's a funny one. What else? What's aquascaping? Does anyone know? The craft of arranging aquatic plants in an aesthetically pleasing manner within an aquarium. Wow, that's cool. Binge watching. Yes, I think we're all quite good at that. Book restoration as a hobby. The renewal and repair of books. Wow, that's super cool. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, no. That's more than a hobby. Wow. Is his leg around his neck? Wow. What else do we have? Cabaret. Candle making. That's a fun, easy one. You don't need to have a machine that big to do that. Clothes making, coloring. Just coloring. Is that a hobby? Oh, coloring in. Yeah, that's big. Cosplaying. What's that? Putting on costumes. That sounds fun. Cross stitch is popular one. Crosswords. Cryptography. What's that again? Practice and study of techniques for secure communication. Ooh, that's exciting. Pole dancing. Anyone out there into pole dancing? I'm sure one or two of you are. Waxing is a hobby. Is that a hobby? Oh my god. Nail art. What's this? Macram. Wow, that's cool. Macram. A form of textile producing using knotting techniques. That could be a fun thing to do with a friend. Scuba diving might be a bit tricky at the moment unless you live nearby, something like that. DJing is fun. We're going to be having a mindful rave on the New Year's Eve. Look out for that. What's this? Distro hopping. So there's a few indoors stuff. Quizzes, we know. Maybe one of your friends does that and you can do that with them. Yo-yoing as a hobby. Oh my god, I love yo-yos. Maybe I'll try that. What about outdoor sports? What do we have? Ghost hunting as a hobby. Ooh. BMXing. Radio controlled model playing. That sounds like my kind of thing. Rugby. Sand art. Whoa. The practice of modeling sand into an artistic form. That's fascinating, isn't it? This is actually quite a good page. List of hobbies, because if it links to details about each one. LARPing, what's that? Interesting. We're definitely trying new things today. Flag football. A version of American football where the basic rules of the game are similar, but those of the mainstream game. But instead of tackling players on the ground, the defensive team must remove a flag from the ball carrier. Oh, sounds a bit safer. Physics as an educational hobby. Railway studies. I'm sure that's huge. And then there's collection hobbies. Does any of you collect anything out there? Oh, some comments. It's pretty amazing. Hula hooping. Yeah. Autophilia. What's that? Equipment installed in a car to provide in-car entertainment. My friend told me yesterday he used to have one of these really cool uh, audio systems in his car, and he went back to his car one day, and his car was parked the other way, and he'd forgot to lock his car. This is like 20 years ago. Someone got into his car, drove his car away, took his radio system out, and then was kind enough to drive his car and park it back in the same spot. But they just parked it backwards. Oh, that's funny. At least they returned his car. Very conscious. Beauty pageants as an indoor hobby. We probably won't be doing that. Go. There's a hobby called Go. An abstract strategy board game for 2 players. Invented in China 2,500 years ago. Believed to be the oldest board game continuously played to the present day. Is somebody still playing it? Surveyed by the International Go. Interesting. Good name. Just 2 words. Kabaddi, I know this is an Indian game where you have to keep saying kabaddi, 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 and knock people over. That is fun. Probably not the best thing to do in the middle of a pandemic. Shogi. 2-player strategy board game, Japanese variant of chess. Don't know that one. Weightlifting. It's amazing that people have created this Wikipedia. What else do we have here? Outdoor airsoft. What's that? Team shooting sport. By tagging them out with the special plastic projectiles launched by air weapons. Okay. Outdoor. Fascinating. And then observational hobbies. Meditation comes underneath observational hobbies. Yes, that's my hobby. Meditation is a practice where an individual uses a technique such as mindfulness or focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity to train attention and awareness and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state. That's a pretty cool definition. I like that. Shortwave listening. The hobby of listening to shortwave radio broadcasts between 1,700 kilohertz and 30. Listeners range from casual users seeking international news to hobbyists immersed in technical aspects. Wow. You could just listen to radio. Shortwave radio research as a hobby. Fish keeping. Has anybody got any fish? Do people keep fish still? Okay, this is the best word that I've heard today. Gongoozling is a person who enjoys watching activity on the canals of the United Kingdom. Gongoozler. The term is also used more generally to describe those who harbour an interest in canals and canal life. I think this is my next thing. December, we're going to be doing gongoozling. That's going to be my new hobby, just because it sounds so cool. Geocaching. An outdoor recreational activity in which participants use GPS receiver or mobile device to hide and seek containers called geocaches at specific locations marked by coordinates all over the world. What? Do people do that? Has anyone heard of it? Oh my God, I'm discovering some cool stuff here. Satellite watching. A hobby which consists of the observation and tracking of artificial satellites that are orbiting the Earth. People with this hobby are variously called satellite watchers, trackers, spotters. Whoa, you can actually see. Train spotting, I've heard of that one. There's a whole film about that. Bus spotting is a pastime in which one seeks to see all the buses in a particular fleet or those produced by a particular manufacturer. A person who engages in these activities is known as a bus spotter, fan, bus enthu, bus nut. Bus nut. Oh man, this is funny. I don't know if anybody else is watching this, but I'm finding this hilarious. You got one someone's got a goldfish called Sailor. Geocaching is pretty cool. Great for kids. Okay, it's a thing that somebody else knows about as well. Well, that's been fun. If you know any other weird and wonderful hobbies that I should know about, then please let me know in the comments below and share this with your friends if you wish to lose some friends. Otherwise, don't share this. Thanks so much for watching and have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're almost coming to the end of this month. And next month, I think we're going to be exploring luck just because it sounds fun, the science of luck, and do things that makes us a little bit lucky every day through the whole of December. Be a good way to finish off 2020 strong, and we can have a nice, lucky, and positive 2021. All right, peeps, have a great day.